Hey everybody, how you doing? Anyways, I wanted to talk to you all about something that happened to me yesterday. Today is Sunday, August uh, 27, 2017, and I entitled this video "The Ogre," and I'll tell you why. I go to church. I like going to church. Church is something that I have been able to find some peace and some answers to help me along my journey here. It's also a place that my kids go, and I like to be there with my children and spend time with them. It's a guaranteed time that I get to see my children most every week. My job sometimes does not allow me to go every Sunday, but I go as often as I can. And Now, yesterday, you know how churches are. They have picnics. They have church gatherings, extracurricular things. They use potlucks and barbecues and stuff. So that's what was going on yesterday. My ex-wife did not attend that. I know she has attended a lot of them in the past with the kids and that type of stuff. But they had other things going on or whatever, and so they weren't there. And I avoided going to these things in the past, not because I was trying to avoid my ex-wife and my kids. That's not what it is. But yeah, it would be awkward. It was awkward. You used to go there as a couple, as a family, and now you're going there, separately, which was a funny feeling. But I went to the one yesterday, um, and and so I was there, and I'm there alone. There's no other divorced dads there. There's no other single dads there, or single men or anything like that. That's just there was me, and there was men there with their families, and so I felt like the ogre, and like I was kind of weird. So let me tell you, when it came down to the time to eat. Uh, I went, well, let's start with it. There were some people came up, they talked to me. They're nice guys. They're great men. They want to find out how I'm doing mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They gaze into your eyes to see if you're telling them the truth about how you're doing. They're giving you those fatherly glances. But for me, uh, yeah, I was awkward. It was weird. I probably came off a little bit like awkward or weird, when I was talking to them. I'm not trying to be, but it's how I felt. And so when it actually came down time to eat, I grabbed my food. I got my hamburger or some of that extra, the stuff, the potluck stuff that gets made, and I looked around for a place to sit, and I looked at all the tables, and all the tables had families sitting together and mingling and socializing with other families. Um, and I felt, wow, I am in the wrong place right now. And I looked at it and I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I just went about 30 feet away uh, in the grass, and I sat down in the grass and I ate. Um, and you know what I felt like? And I felt probably like one of those kids in high school that I didn't have that problem in high school. I never had a problem finding a place to sit and have lunch. Um, and um, what a dingbat I was, probably. What kind of a jerk was I in high school that I knew that there was kids out there eating alone that were probably lonely, that didn't have, or maybe I didn't know and I was just oblivious to it, but still a jerk nonetheless for not noticing. I probably felt like one of those kids, and that's a terrible feeling. Even, loneliness comes in all kinds of levels, even at church, and a church activity where there's a bunch of good, solid people. But what are they going to talk to me about? They don't have any idea what it's like to be divorced and be separated from their families or do anything like that um, at that event. And there's they don't want to talk to me. It's uncomfortable for them as it is probably for me. And So I found myself, after eating, I'm out there. There's a bunch of kids out there playing soccer, so I kind of joined in. There was another dad that joined in, and we were playing soccer, and yeah, it was fun. But my kids weren't out there or doing anything like that. But it was my awkward way of avoiding the awkward adult conversation, probably. and doing adult things, sitting around and having, grown up talk with grown up people. I went with a bunch of, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kids out there playing soccer. Um, and you know, when I got to church today, a lot of people came in. Oh, it looked like you had a ton of fun out there playing soccer. You look like you're getting a good workout and stuff like. Yeah, I would have probably preferred to do it a different way. Probably, in the past, you go to those functions, you're a couple and you have your family, and so you're a family when you go to them, and you're in that demographic, so you're kind of, you know, you mingle and you have adult grown up conversation while the kids are doing their thing. Um, and I'm not in that demographic anymore, at least not yet. Anyways, and boy, it was lonely. It was another again. And like I said, I'm not trying to sit here and be a whiner and a crybaby about being lonely or doing stuff like that. I'm trying to find answers and how am I going to struggle. And I started this blog just because I know there's other guys out there that are going through the same thing I'm going through. And I need, sometimes somebody needs some help. And I'm asking anybody out there, if you have any suggestions, leave them down there in the comment area down below here, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at RickFrancis71. Follow me on Instagram at DadWithAVlog. You can visit my website at www.dadwithablog.com. Yeah, leave me a comment and let me know, what do you do in those situations. Even any women out there that are kind of going through the same or feeling the same way, where you feel ostracized. I'm the ogre. I'm the odd person there. I'm the one that people are uncomfortable around now because I'm the divorced guy. There's got to be something wrong with me, right? I'm a little defective because how in the heck did I cause a situation where such a great lady as my ex-wife wanted to be divorced from me, right? And that's going through people's mind, um, and uh, um, and it's nothing. I'm not ashamed. I'm regretful. There's a lot of things I regret about how my marriage ended, but I'm not ashamed. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bad dad. But you kind of feel that way in these situations. You feel like, oh man, and I know these people aren't really judging me. They're not judging me, but that's still uncomfortable for them to probably even. They don't know what to talk about with me anymore. Oh, how is your ex-wife and kids doing? Yeah, it sucks right now. That's what, no, 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 they don't want to be, they don't know what to say because they don't want to say the wrong thing. And so I don't blame them. I don't want to be around them either right now because I don't want to say the wrong thing. And feel awkward and weird. I don't want them to feel awkward and weird around me. And it's a weird situation. Anyways, that's enough for today. So catch y'all later.